Let's start with the elephant in the room. Most of us think that we're bad learners. I want to just address this because I think I saw this more than anything else in my teaching career, were students who felt that they were bad learners. The most common myth with this often has to do with math. I was never a math teacher, but I do have a great story. I was one of those students that went through high school, at least for my first couple of years of high school, just barely making it. When I was in grade 11, I took a math course and I was living in a place where they gave letter grades. And I got, for my grade, my final grade for my math course was an E. And that did not stand for excellent. That meant I had completely failed the course. I labeled myself as one of those kids I'm just not a math person. A year later, I went to a different high school, different everything, different friends. I found that it wasn't that I just suddenly learned that I could learn math. I just realized that you got to put the work in, and the discomfort of learning math, but without the distraction of friends wanting to do things, that made it all click for me. And I realized that I was a math person, but more importantly, it wasn't that I was a math person, it was that I could learn and I could figure out how to learn. So sometimes we think of the brain as like a bucket, like it's just this thing that we fill up with information. When it's full, that's it. You can't put anything else in. But really, it's more like a muscle in that you can teach it and you can train it how to learn. It's the way we approach discomfort. If we approach it as something to avoid, then of course we're not going to like learning because it makes us a little bit uncomfortable, or at least it challenges us and pushes us out of where we would normally sit. And so in order to experience that growth, there has to be a level of discomfort. Not unlike building muscles or going to the gym. You still have to challenge it in order to progress and go further. All right. So we're going to go to a completely different thing, and I really want to make it clear what I'm about to teach you is not the point. I am not evaluating anyone on what they're about to learn. So just kind of follow along and see if you can make this work. All right, so you're going to need a rope of some kind, okay? Ideally, if you've got some length of, thicker rope, that'll make this easier. About this size. You can do it with a piece of twine. It is harder to see and you'll probably miss things, but that's okay if that's all you got. And of course you could always pull out an old, charging cable. That'll work as long as you're not using it anymore and it's basically going in the garbage. Okay, go get your rope, come on back and let's do the next part.